While Marine Helicopter Squadron 1, also known as HMX-1, has existed since December of 1947, it did not become associated with transporting the president until many years later. Safety concerns with this new flight technology prevented its use for presidential transportation until almost a decade later, amid Cold War concerns of a nuclear attack and the need for a more rapid evacuation plan that did not depend on clear roads. The first helicopter selected for trial use was the Bell H-13J due to its superior safety record. On July 12, 1957, Dwight D. Eisenhower became the first president to take flight from the South Lawn in a helicopter as part of what was called Operation Alert. The pilot for the maiden presidential helicopter flight was Air Force Major Joseph Barrett, who flew the president from the White House to Camp David in Maryland. The first helicopter trip that would be a Marine One flight was later that year, on September 6th, in a Marine Sikorsky HUS-1, taking President Eisenhower from a vacation home in Rhode Island to his Air Force One flight out of Quonset Point. Having arrived from the direction of the Washington Monument on the day experienced in this video, November 21st, 2017, the Sikorsky VH-3D, or Sea King, helicopter that you saw land on the south lawn of the White House is one of the current fleet of helicopters maintained by Marine Helicopter Squadron 1 in support of transporting the president. If you look around to your left and right, you can see the assembled members of the press. The president will sometimes address the press and take questions before boarding Marine One. They are also there to document the president's departure. After the helicopter lands and has its doors opened, a Marine stands ready for the president's arrival. On this occasion, after speaking to the press, President Trump departs on Marine One, which will transport him to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, from where Air Force One will take him to West Palm Beach, Florida for Thanksgiving weekend. As Marine One prepares to depart, you can look behind you to see a magnolia tree that was planted in 1829 by President Andrew Jackson. In December of 2017, just over a month after this footage was recorded, it was announced that due to the tree's worsening condition and reliance on an artificial support structure, part of the tree would be cut down. Mentioned as part of the reasons for this decision were First Lady Melania Trump's concerns regarding the safety of members of the press and others who stand in front of the tree as Marine One arrives and departs, just as we are today. During liftoff, to your left and your right, you can observe the effect the helicopter's powerful downdraft has on the people assembled along the driveway. Marine One now heads towards the Washington Monument, where she will be joined by two other decoy helicopters for the remainder of her flight to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. The President's use of Marine One is well known, but relatively few get to see her land and depart from the south lawn of the White House. We hope you have found this 360-degree video an interesting way to experience the rest of that story.